welcome back to the LEC. Armut there, getting ready after having such a stellar performance in Game 1 on that Jayce. Of course, aided a lot by the fact Elyoya and Humanoid decided to set up a tent in his lane.
Oh yeah, they did. And I think the cool thing to me about this game too was Rogue came onto the stage individually, one at a time, very different timings, and were very quiet. Mad Lions came on the stage one by one all together, and they were laughing and joking. It's like, Carzzy was like, this game I'm going 0-7. And they were just joking so much. The mood is great.
The atmosphere, I mean, we've seen it multiple times with this team. They seem like that a great bunch of pals and having a great time. And I mean, I've seen many comments about people comparing them to the G2 of old, you know, the type of energy, the type of play style, the fact that you can rely on their two solo laners. This could be a potentially bright new future for the side of the LEC. We shall see. There's still a long series left to go. Mad Lions had a very good Game 1, but we know that Rogue is not a team to go down without a fight. So let's see how they adapt here in Game 2.
Yeah, historically, these teams are very close. I think it's all-time 11-9 in favor of Rogue. So across playoffs, 6-6 with Mad Lions having won the last two best-of-5s. The question is, can they keep their form going? Because Game 1 was about as one-sided an affair as I've seen in a while here. Although the gold lead wasn't monumental, it was still a very dominant performance from Mad.
I think the interesting thing about our playoffs is I think almost every series has had one dominating Game 1 from one team and then another dominating Game 2 for another. You think of the G2 series, you think of the Fnatic Vitality series, where it's one game, one team just stomps and the other one bounces back. I hope Rogue, in this case, do bounce back because I want to see more proactivity. I want to see the Rogue of all the prio lanes and then the ones forcing on your lanes, forcing the dives, not playing control mages and kind of full clearing and just being really safe. It didn't feel like that's the Rogue we've seen in the regular split. And they've chosen red side. I think this is Rogue's first red side game in playoffs. And I think that's exactly what you need to force Armut to blind pick top.
I'm a big fan. Let's see now how the draft shapes up. So, Ezreal and Ziggs gonna continue to be removed from both sides. Thresh now banned by the Mad Lions. Even though they found a way of dealing with it in Game 1, they say, you know what, we don't want to run the risk of giving that one over. So Rogue now adapts and remove the Varus from Carzzy's hand.
Ezreal, Varus down. I think Mad Lions, are you going to respond with a Kalista ban here? Because Rogue has swapped everything up. Normally they were banning away mid laners, TF was being banned away, LeBlanc, everything's open. And Rogue are focusing really heavily on bot lane. 3 AD carries already banned away, makes Kalista very, very strong. If Rogue do pick Kalista, I really want to see Mad Lions pick Draven.
Oh, you want the Draven? Okay.
I want the Draven Kalista.
I mean, I'm expecting,
Ashe would be one, yeah.
I'm expecting an Ashe Xayah. A part of me even thinks Mad Lions may take the Fnatic approach and go Xayah Rakan very early on into the draft. Yeah. We saw how comfortable Kaiser was on the champion, and I think that it is also just an AD carry that has so much safety and a 2v2 lane that is very strong in the current meta. So we shall see. Xin, of course, left through the ban phase. All powerful junglers left through the ban phase. So now, will Elyoya go for the Lee Sin once again, or will they go for the Viego?
Yeah, Rogue have a small problem here. If Mad Lions first pick Lee Sin, they can't take away LeBlanc because they're playing LeBlanc into Lee Sin, Lissandra, perhaps. And if they do first pick the Lee Sin, you're going to have to give away the LeBlanc. So you want to counter pick mid on 3, you'd expect. But as I say, all this Lee Sin things, they're going to first pick Ryze. Now, interestingly, this Ryze pick, the last time it was picked, LeBlanc and Syndra were down. So Larssen does have options.
What it does do, though, is immediately allows Humanoid the ability to get out of lane. Realm Warp, roaming, that's what Humanoid has been so good at across the course of his career. Twisted Fate was where he made his name, really. Of course, with it being banned out here, the Ryze gives him that opportunity, although on a slightly less global stage. And Rogue decide that they want the Lee Sin for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a good pickup with Sin Zhao down. Now the question is, Mad Lions, how do they match it? Trundle or Viego, you'd expect, will come out.
Surely this is a Syndra from Rogue. Thoughts?
Syndra could work. Any control mage is always good into Ryze, but I think things with kill pressure is what I like to see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they go for the Orianna, it's definitely, I would say, more of a comfort for Larssen, and still a very good matchup into the Ryze. But in terms of the mid-jungle 2 versus 2, I would say it's not as strong.
They're going to go back to Aphelios and probably counter-pick support on 3. Maybe Larssen's confident he can go 4-5 against the Ryze. You know, Orianna, Victor, Syndra, LeBlanc are all up. So mid lane, Rogue don't want to prioritize it early because they think they have enough. Aphelios blind pick for a counter-pick support. Mad Lions, are they going to pick jungle or bot lane here?
I think bot lane makes a lot of sense. That Rakan's still available. We saw how much effect Kaiser could have on it in Game 1. Of course, blind Rakan can be a little bit tricky, but Viego has made his way through picks and bans. It's the first time we have seen Elyoya pick it up this playoffs.
Certainly in playoffs, but of course he did have that crazy play during the regular season, which he was doing against bot lane. I forget exactly which team it was against, but he basically like used every champion on the enemy team and was able to get a bunch of kills off the back of it. I'm sure he's going to be
Viego
things. So Mad Lions are going to continue with the trend of prioritizing their top side, but this will give Rogue the opportunity to counterpick. The question is, how will they do it?
Oh, are they going to give them their taste of their own medicine? Larssen's laughing a bit with the hover. Now, Mad Lions, Jayce is Armut's favorite top laner, so blind picking it on blue side doesn't seem to bother him too much. Now, it's all on Rogue. What response do they have? It's going to be the Orianna into Ryze, which we saw hovered in the 1-2. And top lane will be picked later on. Rogue expected to save their last pick for support. And Mad Lions, no bot lane just yet, will get banned away. But it's Jayce. If it can be dealt with in this game, then Rogue are sitting comfortably for the rest of the series. If they can't find a pick to deal with it now, then they're in danger.
Yeah, they certainly are. I think that Mad Lions can just consider banning out top laners right now. And you would imagine that Rogue is looking to ban out either supports, because they can then first pick their support, or instead they can ban out AD carries. And it looks like support is going to be the focus. Rakan are going to be removed off the board. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Leona ban to follow this up as well.
Maybe a Brown ban from Mad Lions with Rakan taken away. Could be something they want to invest in, but with Orianna, you want to go for hard engage. Alistar, Leona, Nautilus, all up there, things that go in. I think they need some kind of engage if they're playing this Orianna. Malphite ban, I respect it. I think a 4-pick Malphite would be dangerous, but you don't want to play with fire. Playing Jayce into Malphite is never fun, especially like my solo queue games where people think they can play Jayce top and get solo killed by the Malphite level 3. And from that point onwards, I know it's doomed.
Was it you that was
it was you playing Jayce.
No, it wasn't me. Okay, good one, Betty, good one.
All right, let's see what Rogue choose to remove. So they're actually not going to do any more support bans. They're going to remove the Ashe. We talked a little bit about the Ashe, but I think this also removes the Xayah Rakan option as well. So what direction will Carzzy now go in? Because there aren't that many AD carries left for him to choose.
Yeah, I think Carzzy might go for things like Xayah, like you're talking about, but Xayah into Orianna Aphelios doesn't sound so fun, but maybe we'll see a Jhin come out from Carzzy. But
Tristana?
For now, Tristana could be one, but Leona gonna get picked up here. I thought that Rogue would pick their top laner here, but I think Braum, Rakan down, Thresh down, Leona is just raising so high in priority, it just makes sense to pick it up.
That's the thing, and Kaiser has always been so good at these engaged supports. We already said Mad Lions need a little bit of engage in their lineup, so the question is, where can they find that now? Things like the Alistar are available, but apart from that, maybe a Blitzcrank is a possibility?
Trundle into Leona could be a good option. Also negates any top lane last pick. If Odoamne wants to pick something like, I don't know, Sion, Ornn, top, then obviously the Trundle will negate that. Oh, Kalista still up, but I think going Kalista into Orianna Leona is a little bit risky, but Carzzy's no stranger to playing dangerous.
And it is going to be the Kalista locked in there for Carzzy, one of Hans Summer's favorite champions. Carzzy's going to show him how to pilot it here. Alongside that, Mad Lions looking at the Bard.
I feel like you need to swap the team's names. I feel like Mad Lions' draft is Rogue, and Rogue's draft is Mad Lions. Would you agree?
I mean, yeah, I think that I've seen both teams play these compositions. The thing is that when I look at Mad Lions, I always think of having these now really strong solo laners that they can very easily play through. But the thing is, they have an ability to play through the bot side of the map as well, especially once you hit that level 6. The playmaking potential is very real. Now, what will Odoamne's final answer be? Ooh. It's going to be the Ornn, so we are going full team fight for Rogue. He is going to be playing on the weak side. He's going to be soaking up this pressure, and he's going to make it a little bit harder for Mad Lions to dive in.
And that's why I think Mad Lions could have blinded Trundle in case they last picked a tank into Jayce, which would make sense, but in the end, they're going to go for Kaiser, Alistar, 2 immobile carries, and Ornn Orianna very good into Kalista because of the range difference. Now, looking at these comps, Mad Lions, again, 1-3-1 comp. I would say 2 winning lanes on side lane, 100%. They should have the push and they should contest it. Mid lane a lot more contested, depends who wants to trade mana for HP. I would slightly favor Ryze in the early game, whereas Rogue, surprisingly, not much prio, but a lot of team fights. Mad Lions, a lot of prio, not so much team fight.
I think that Rogue is sitting here saying that, you know what happened last game is not going to be allowed to happen again. We will not let you snowball the same way that you did. This game is going to come down to team fights, and we want the better team fighting comp. We'll see if Rogue can actually get themselves to that position, if they can play out the 5v5, and in terms of straight front-to-back 5v5, then they could very well be in a good position. The question is, will they be allowed to get there in an even gold state?
Game 1 was very much defined by the fact that Mad Lions were able to get their top side ahead. Elyoya, Armut, and Humanoid all getting the snowball rolling, and the rest of the squad able to close it out. This time, Rogue looking to thaw that snowball just a little bit. Can they strike back against Mad Lions here?
everyone, before we jump onto the riff, I have one small question for Mac, Mad Lions head coach. What do you think about Rogue's adaptation here, especially when it comes to them grabbing the red side and picking Ornn last pick, which is a champion we didn't see in Summer so far?
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of scaling, so I guess they're looking to late game team fight us, but I feel a bit bad for Mr. Odoamne on weak side duty again. But we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes indeed, and back to you guys on the rift.
Okay, guys. Not much happening.
Thank you.
There is a ward here on the Rogue red buff. I think the important question is, do you know the name of the Ornn mythic upgrades?
No.
Because I have no clue.
What? That's like your job.
So I'll do all the team fight stuff. You guys think of cool names as we go through, okay?
Okay,
I'm expecting a cool name from both of you.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan, Medic. I'll try to think of some.
All right, well, while you start that, I'm going to highlight some of this early vision that has been set up here towards the top side. So double ward's been placed from the Mad Lions to investigate where exactly Rogue is starting. And as you can see on the minimap, they're not starting on the red buff. So Mad Lions are aware of this, which means that both junglers matching towards the top side.
Yeah, and if you have expectations for this game, I think that we kind of talked about it in draft. Rogue, lots of scaling, lots of team fight, no pryos. Mad Lions, although they don't have that much team fight in terms of, big AoE spells, they have good engage from the Alistar, of course, and they should naturally be ahead before the team fight kicks off. They should have control, or they should have a gold lead, or they should be ahead in some form or shape before the fight starts, and that's what will give them the advantage to leverage the team fights, depending on how far ahead they are.
Let's see if Rogue are able to get into that position at the moment, though. Both junglers starting on the bottom side, working up towards top. A little bit of a switch here from Inspired, who last time started at the top side and worked down towards bottom lane. And we saw Odoamne get caught out and get killed a lot of times in the early game because Inspired wasn't around, because he wasn't able to help out his top laner. Here, of course, Odoamne on more of a traditional tank, a much safer pick. Question is, can he survive any early pressure that might come down from Elyoya?
Now we can see that with Armut wave, he is setting up this slow stack, similar to what he did in game one. Ryze, if we could quickly have a look at that mid lane wave, so we can have a see at what this Ryze is up to. So you can see the wave is pretty even for the time being, but now that Humanoid has 2 points, 3 points even, he's going to be able to push in that wave much faster. So let's see if he moves into the fog. And notice this little ward in the topside river. Rogue is prepared for the potential roam, and lo and behold, Humanoid is going to move into the river as he often does, and he's going to get spotted out.
Yeah,
Inspired snuck past us.
Yeah, if we could look at the top wave as well, I think it's crashing. I think they're giving up. They're going for Inspired instead. He has Smite. He's going to get it. Mad Lions with his prio lanes aren't going to get anything. Inspired can get these Crux. Elyoya will get top grab as expected from the prio top. And Inspired there, just pathing top to cover Odoamne. This is what you like to see. I think they should have done this last game. Just cover top and cover the first couple of waves to make sure they can't get a dive off. And now Rogue sitting comfortable now.
Yeah, in a strong position right now, or in a comfortable position. Strong is probably overkill as Elyoya takes the first Scuttle Crab of the game. Importantly, Elyoya skipped 2 camps on his first rotation, so Inspired will be ahead in terms of total XP, and also his camps will be respawning sooner. So if he wants to continue to clear out his jungle, he'll have more gold and XP at his fingertips. Hun, Summer, and Trymbi with the priority in the bottom lane could work their way up towards the Scuttle Crab. Instead, they just place the ward to make sure they're safe and return to forcing Carzzy and Kaiser underneath their tower.
So I will say, a small issue I see with Mad Lions right now is you have a top lane that needs resources and a bot lane that needs resources. You have a Kalista and a Jayce. Now, this is very... I mean, you don't tend to see this often where you have both of these champions because they require jungle attention, and it's hard to juggle jungle attention when you have an even/slightly favored mid-jungle. So we'll see where they put the resources. Armut has TP'd back top. So we'll see if he does get attention to force Odoamne's TP out early, but bot lane is also going to be very, very volatile, I think.
So in my opinion, I think that given the item reworks, I think Jayce scales a little better than he used to. So in the past, I think it was really important that he did get early game resources. But I think in a matchup like this, where he's playing against an Ornn, where I think in the straight up 1v1, Armut is always going to be fine. Personally, I think it makes more sense for Mad to actually invest in the bot side of the map, to actually try and accelerate this Kalista Alistar, and actually just leave Armut to play out in the 1v1 and kind of accrue advantages himself, while also kind of scaling in terms of the 1v1 inside lane.
Yeah, I think that's completely right. I think the only trouble they might run into is if they're not playing topside, Armut could get ganked and fall behind.
It's true, it's
they have a lot of kill pressure with Odoamne and Inspired, so they have to play topside, I think, to just cover the Jayce. There's not a lot of bot pressure in terms of kills, like the Alistar can knock away the Leona. They can play safe and just go even in 2v2, but if the Jayce falls behind, that's one of your, I think, the biggest win condition in this draft.
Once again, we see Humanoid moving from the mid lane, going up towards the top side. He's held onto his TP here, whereas Larssen burnt his to get back towards the lane. He's getting up towards that level 6. And of course, it was Elyoya and Humanoid who had such a strong performance in game 1 that really helped Mad get out to that early lead. They're looking for more. for as Larssen has to flash away. Rune Prison available. Kaiser has the flash headbutt pulverize and goes for it. Humanoid now with the lockup onto Larssen, who's going to try and get away, but he's been stunned up, and Larssen will be killed. Humanoid with the first blood.
Just as you say it, Medic, they make the play happen. Investing 2 flashes to get a kill is always worth it. First blood goes over to Humanoid, and it looks like they might be able to get a dragon off the back of that as well. Kaiser's just going to stay in the middle to make sure that Rogue can't full rotate to stop it. Odoamne's TPing top. Yep, Humanoid can push in and just help out Elyoya. So killing a Drake already in this early game, straight to Mad Lions.
Bit of a misstep there, I feel, for Larssen. Going for those plates, put himself in a very difficult position in the mid lane, and he knew where Humanoid was. He knew he'd be rotating through the top river. I think the thing that caught him off guard was the fact that Elyoya was in a position to collapse, and the fact that Kaiser could punish him as well. So huge props to the bot lane, identifying that opportunity and being able to punish him and securing that first blood once again.
We didn't talk much about Larssen in game 1, but that's because he didn't really do much. I think we were about 25 minutes in before he even got a death on the board, never mind a kill or an assist. And the question is, for me, back on these utility mages, whether you can have more of an impact this game, because in the series versus Misfits, he actually had a very strong performance. He was up in, he wasn't in his lane that much, but he had high kills and assists at 15-minute mark. He had a high kill participation at the 15-minute mark because he was teaming up with Inspired.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's because Mad Lions are blind picking Ryze every game, so he feels inclined to go back to comfort and pick a control mage into it, outrange him and just outscale. That might be one of the reasons Larssen is just tending towards this. We'll have to keep our eye on it as the series progresses. If it does, though, it's good game 3 and a game 4, because this Ryze could be a big problem if it's able to push in, gets really good gank setup, and is able to move around the map. Rogue have shown that if this game doesn't work out, they don't really have a response to it.
Remember that when it comes to Mad's draft, a lot of the burden of execution falls on Mad's shoulders.
Yeah.
When you're Rogue, you could sit there and say like, okay, sure, they played the early game extremely well in game 1, but we don't think they can do it again. We can change our draft slightly to be able to manage that early game pressure, and if we just ward better, we can mitigate Humanoid's early game impact. So instead, let's just wait for late game, let's just not give them the same early game gold leads, and let's just rely on our team fighting and draft at scale, and then we should be able to come out on top. The question is, can they actually control this early game? And so far, 7.5 minutes in, with only 1 death, Rogue is holding on for the time being.
There's no such thing as Rogue time if you're behind. So just have scaling full behind. It's a 5-head play.
It's true. You've cracked the code.
Cracked the code. No, but I think the biggest problem Rogue have this game especially is Humanoid's movement on the map. He just keeps pushing in mid-waves and controlling his top side. Look at if you could bring up the mini-map there. The top side ward on Raptors, ward in top side Tribush. Humanoid keeps going up there. No flash on Humanoid though, he's in trouble.
Doesn't have too much to work with, and he's already down. Elyoya now going to have to use the Heartbreaker to get away. Rogue finding a kill in the mid lane, just as you were praising Humanoid.
Yeah, every single time we talk about mid lane, someone dies there. Humanoid dies, has no flash, really good setup. Larssen gets the shockwave, Inspired lands a QR combo, so now the mid jungle's fighting back of Rogue.
Exactly that. Inspired getting a little bit more active on the map, sees an opportunity, and now he'll convert this into a Herald. Denying this from Mad is also a really big deal. When you have these 2 solo laners that want to try and accelerate the early game, funnel more gold into them by taking this objective away, it makes it so much easier to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, no ultimates in this fight apart from Odoamne's. Going into top.
Call of the Forge God is available. Inspired working his way up towards that as well. That Rift Herald has reset. Armut's going to knock Odoamne back. Elyoya keeps the Rift Herald interested. And that's a good play there for Mad Lions, able to use the fact that Inspired has leashed the Rift Herald and take it for themselves.
Have a look at the bot line of mid lane, sitting in the bush. There is a Alistar roaming from the bot side of the map that I think Rogue was respecting. They knew that the potential collapse was real, and they didn't want to risk it. So that small advantage Rogue was looking to get, that denial of the Rift Herald, is going to be stopped, and Mad Lions will get it for themselves.
Yeah, that's really important, especially when you're playing this 1-3-1 comp, giving it over to Ryze, Jayce. Even, heck, if you can get a bot play, giving it to Kalista is so important. I think Rogue really wanted to deny that away, but you're completely right. The Alistar moving up means numbers disadvantage. Odoamne gets cancelled there. Elyoya's around, has the flash. I think Odoamne can't get away here.
He's got Ignite, and he's got a flash, and a Call of the Forge God himself. Armut's going to tank up this tower. Call of the Forge God going to come out, and Armut has to flash away. Humanoid is working his way up and does have the Realm Warp as well, but Larssen and Inspired will keep him at bay.
Odoamne was in a really good position to kill Armut there. Yeah. I think it was smart of Armut to flash. Odoamne also running the Ignite, you can see, thanks to his spellbook. So, yeah, it's a good thing that Armut flashed because he was in some serious danger there. Now, Inspired looking to invade, steal away this blue.
No smite, though. Just stare down. He gets it in front of him. He can get the stun as well. Inspire looks to the kick. Kaiser's around though. This could be dangerous.
Inspire did not know that the cow was waiting for him. Flash away, flash stun from Kaiser. Elyoya coming in as well, but Kaiser will secure the kill. Trymbi was there just a little bit too late, and the Realm Warp's going to try and chase them down now. Trymbi does have the solar flare. There's a shockwave into the solar flare. Humanoid flashing forward, looking for Larssen, but Trymbi should be the target here. Does still have the flash to get away, but the Heartbreaker will chase him down. And Mad Lions get 2 quick kills in the jungle.
Yeah, Rogue looked for a play once again, but Kaiser's first to the play. He was right behind Humanoid when Inspired tried to fake pressure him away. It was almost like a stare down. Inspired had no smite, Humanoid had no clue. He gets it and he asks himself, what is this Lee Sin doing? Inspired can't really kick him into anyone unless he gets him back in towards the river, because that's where Larssen and Trymbi was. Really good response from Kaiser. He's reading the map very well this game.
He just keeps showing up. Kaiser is just everywhere. Yeah, let's keep our eyes on it, because as you rightly said, he's looking to roam, something that both these supports often do, but I do not think that Inspired was expecting this to happen. Yes, he's trying to set up that play on for Trymbi and Larssen to arrive, but the fact that Kaiser is there first prevents the play from happening, and then a great use of the Realm Warp.
Oh, Elyoya, was he on the edge this time? I think he was, because he ulted over the wall, so he must have been. So he does take this Realm Warp, fighting bot lane.
Carzzy has to use the cleanse to get away from the sun. The Shield of Daybreak won't be enough. Moonlight Vigil going wide as well, and of course Trymbi, no flash from the earlier exchange. Carzzy now on the board. Mad Lions using the pressure they had in mid and top to get their AD carry another kill, and now Hans Sommer is on the ropes. Flash, heal available, puts down a sentry. Inspired coming to join the fight, doesn't have the Dragon's Rage. Elyoya gonna get locked up here with the Gravitum. Kaiser on the front line. Mad Lions will just retreat.
Kaiser body blocking for his jungler there. Didn't have ultimate, but said his life was less valuable than that of Elyoya. Kaiser doing a great job pretty much every which way, and now Mad Lions will convert this into a Drake. But the biggest thing here is that we said Rogue need to try and control the early game. They need to prevent Mad from getting these early game advantages. And funnily enough, it's Rogue's proactivity that is repeatedly being punished. Very similar to what we saw in game 1, and it is resulting in Mad Lions finding kill after kill.
Yeah, it's the playing top side now, playing bot side. Armut had TP advantage. I guess the only really good thing for Rogue here is Armut TP down, he got nothing. Odoamne gets 2 plates top, so top matchup is now skewed towards the Ornn, but that's about it. Carzzy is accelerated, Humanoid's accelerated, Elyoya is as well, and the big thing to take away from this is they already have 2 dragons at 12 minutes in the game.
Mad Lions have to keep this game going, keep it moving though, because of course Kalista not as strong as an Aphelios when we get towards that late game portion. Doesn't quite have the front to back damage that the Aphelios will be able to put out. And with only 1,000 gold lead, Mad Lions perhaps not as far ahead as they would have liked.
Yeah, I think they need more. 100% they need more, because Rogue's team fight's still very powerful. Leona, Orianna, Ornn into Kalista, Ryze. The range difference is massive, so Mad Lions, they need to find more, and Rogue are still in a good spot. It's not the best, not the end of the world, but I think they can still hold on.
I mean, has Kaiser actually been with Carzzy for this entire game? He's taking social distancing a little bit too far, in my opinion.
Hex Flash.
Rift Herald coming in, Hex Flash. He goes back, decides not to chase in on it, but you can see the difference between the supports. Trymbi does love roaming as well, but Kaiser is just so rarely actually in that bottom lane.
Yeah, just keeps roaming around to help out these solo laners, which are the win conditions for Mad Lions. Armut's going to try onto Odoamne here and push him away. All in coming in.
Wins this. He's got the ghost.
He wins these.
There's the brittle. He's a tank, DPS, mage, wizard, assassin. It's Ornn.
Oh yeah. You know, once you take a long enough break, it's nice to see Ornn do things like that again. And I
for
think
one game, we get one game.
But I think that was so well played from Odoamne. He punishes Armut over aggression there in the 1 versus 1, and it's such a stark contrast to what we saw in game 1, where Odoamne was consistently attacked. Putting him on this weak side tank gives him so many more options, and the fact that Armut TP down, you talked about it, giving a little bit more gold, giving a little bit more experience to Odoamne, gave him that early level advantage, and he's able to find himself a kill. So with the gold now dead even, you can see that Rogue's win condition of waiting for the later team fights and how much harder it's going to be for this Kalista to play in the 5v5 is starting to become a bigger and bigger threat.
Yeah, this kill breaks the map open slightly, because now the Ornn is 2 levels up and can start pushing in the Jayce. Now, earlier, around a minute ago or 2, I said that Rogue's in a really dire spot because Mad Lions, they're in full control of the game. Yes, they're only ahead 501k gold, but they had full river vision. They had Herald to work with. They're sitting at 2 dragons. So the early game, as much as it's not working out in gold, it's working out in objectives and control. Now that control has faded because Odoamne has retaken control of top side, and he has pink ward in river, and he can push in and look at him on the minimap. He can move down towards bot side now to relieve pressure in mid, which will help the whole map out.
Humanoid has the Everfrost here in the mid lane, just tries to force Larssen back. You can see Odoamne, as you say, providing pressure even if he doesn't actually show his face. The fact that he is not in top lane makes it hard for Mad Lions to make a play, because that Call of the Forge God could come in from the side. Here goes Kaiser, has the flash, gets the knock-up, there's the stun. Summer locked in place, Moonlight Vigil won't be enough. And now the TP coming in from Odoamne. He's going to be caught by himself underneath this tower. Trymbi's on his way as well. There's the root. He is very tanky, but he doesn't have MR. And Humanoid is there. Odoamne down to half HP, dashes away. Dragging up in a minute 40 while Larssen and Inspired are pushing in mid.
Yeah, they're going to get a mid-tier 1 here. Mad Lions get themselves a kill. I think they have to force this bot tier 1. Odoamne has ult to clear out the wave if he wants to. They're going to go for a dive. This could be really risky.
Here comes the Fate's Call. Trymbi locked up, stunned in place. Kaiser underneath the tower, but as you say, that Ornn is so tanky and Humanoid was not here for any of this damage. Odoamne's still alive. Kaiser goes down, but it's 2 for 1 in Mad Lions' favor.
The exchange is a mid-tier 1 for a big dive and more kills for Mad in the bot lane. They're going to be able to get themselves another tower. And Rogue is looking to try and get themselves the second Herald. Really well executed dive from Mad there. Odoamne not quite able to get the knock-up from his E. And overall, Mad getting more kills onto their plays. 3-0-0 for this Kalista now. Once again, changes the dynamic of this game.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the replay of that fight, because Kaiser is the MVP in both of those kills. First, he just kind of stares down Hans and just skill checks him by just instantly flash comboing him. Hans doesn't react. Second time around, he uses his combo to cancel Odoamne on the ultimate. Kaiser, man of the dive here. You can see here, Hans has flash, but Kaiser just instantly goes for it. See if Hans can react. In the end, he doesn't. And then on the redive, it looks risky, but Mad Lions, the initial dive, they don't have a wave. That's why they have to back off of this first dive. Hang on, we've got another dive perhaps. Actually, there's no tower. Hans is just alone.
Oh, Summer, it's so unfortunate to be
Kaiser.
any carry. Kaiser doesn't quite manage to get the knock-up, but the Everfrost is there, the root is there.
He's fine.
Summer, I forgot what Aphelios was like. We forgot what Ornn was like. Aphelios, an original 200 years champion here, wins out in a 2v1, and Summer able to outplay that one.
Well, going into melee range when you have that many chakrams, I can hear Daniel Dracos right now. That was an easy one for the Aphelios. No ultimate on Kaiser either. It will mean that Rogue get themselves a kill and a tower back, and you can see that they are willing to scrap, they are willing to fight. They're getting a little bit more control over the map as Mad continue to look for picks. Now they've got Odoamne in their sights.
Importantly though, Rogue get the priority on this dragon as well, which means Mad Lions dragon stacking will go down. Odoamne gonna sacrifice himself for that Ocean Drake. Call of the Forge God did come out. Armut will get the kill, but the Ocean Drake here for Rogue really slows down the Mad Lions game plan.
And that is so important, especially when you think back to the interview that Mac had at the start of this game with Law, where he said, yeah, they've got a lot of team fight, yeah, they got a lot of scaling, but we'll see if they can pull it off anyway. And it just seems they're only down 1k gold now. Gold doesn't matter as much in this early game, but neutral objectives does. They're able to trade back towers. They're only 1 tower down, and they've taken this dragon to give themselves at least an extra 10 minutes to work with. And Hans picks up the kill. I thought he was dead there, but I think Kaiser failing the combo, and then Humanoid having to flash as well to commit, made it so Hans was either going to trade for a kill, or he could just flash away because there was a TP behind him to save him.
Aphelios chakrams, man. That, like, especially when you're that close, you attack even faster as well. It was just, yeah, he had the right guns for that sort of a situation, and it looked like he was overextended, but it turns out that it was you, Mad Lions, who was overextended. They invested a TP into that play as well and didn't get much off the back of it.
Betty, look at those wards. You can see the wards on Krugs and one in the lane behind them. Armut has TP, and Rogue's next objective is this top tier 1. There's a world where Mad Lions collapse top here, and they TP behind. Odoamne's reading the play. Oh, baby, here it comes!
Realm Warp as well. Odoamne's on his way up, but Humanoid and Elyoya already here. Armut there as well. Trymbi the first target. Hex splash across the wall, and Kaiser finds Summer. 1 down already. Summer dead as well. Rogue were unable to react in time, and Odoamne's getting forced off only by Carzzy here as well. Odoamne gonna get slowed up with the Ren. Carzzy doesn't want to overstep because Larssen and Inspired were on their way.
It's just set up to perfection, isn't it? They put a ward behind Rogue's only objective on the map. They know they have TP advantage. Realm Warp the team in. TP behind. 2 quick kills for Mad Lions. Shuts down Rogue even more, who are trying to play on this top wave. And then they just die.
Mad's utilization of the teleports is fantastic, and you can just see it here. They've kept Carzzy in the mid lane to catch the wave. They have the Realm Warp to cut off one route of escape, and look at the positioning of Humanoid on the Realm Warp as well, so he gets as close as possible. The TP flanking from Armut, the Hex Flash over the wall, and there's another fight on our screen.
There is. Call of the Forge God was used. It looks like Armut is going to be able to get away.
The funny thing to me about this play is you talk about routes, but there's no route that Rogue can run away from. The Tribush, there's 3 exits, but all of them are covered by Mad Lions. 1 TP behind, 1 Alistar behind, and Ryze, Viego running at your face. Now Mad Lions have taken control of topside, and they have the whole map to work with.
I'm loving this evolution of Mad Lions. You can see it's the dynamic duo Elyoya and Humanoid teaming up over and over and over again. 2x and 6 their scorelines, and on top of that, Armut, who has traditionally been a weak point for this team, a guy that could really only play Wukong or Gnar, consistently performing in his lane, consistently getting pressure and being able to use that to get an advantage in the game.
Yeah, I think that it's a far cry from his regular season performance where a lot of people were critical and, you know, doubtful. They considered him a weak point. It was a discussion you and I had coming into the first week around what draft options he would have, but he's getting champions that he's comfortable on and he's performing on them. He did get solo killed by Odoamne in this game, but everyone gets solo killed by an Ornn every now and then.
Happy to Larssen. It's just a matchup.
It's just a matchup.
It's just a matchup. It's just a pro player classic.
Now the red buff is going to be handed over to Humanoid. The next Drake is in about 2 minutes, and for the time being, Rogue starting to get their second items through. We're going to wait a little bit longer before they force these fights.
Yeah, just as Shock said in the start of Ready Check, where she was talking about Rogue, she was talking about Mad Lions, she was talking about talent factories. Look at these players. 7 out of 3 of these players went through EU Masters. Armut obviously went through TCL, Odoamne and Hans, long-standing veterans in the LEC now. But 7 of these players went through EU Masters to get to this point they are now, Vedius.
It's pretty crazy how the talent system here in Europe has worked out. The fact that both these teams sit atop of Europe as well, knocking out the former Kings, who we will see play tomorrow. But it's very impressive the development that they have made, and we'll see which one will be making their way to the final. Game 2, Mad right now sit with the gold lead, about 3k. Their solo laners are in prime position to carry, 2 items completed for top, mid, and AD carry. And while Orianna is looking to be quite a threat, level 14, highest level in the game, 2 items completed. That Ori needs a little bit more setup around her before she can really start to tear through these fights.
And that's the thing, if you just look at the map, she needs setup, so she needs people to group. And when you group, you lose sidewave, so Humanoid smartly just keeps on pressuring through bot. Odoamne's built a lot of armor, so putting Armut into that lane without a Dominix or a Caedrel is very risky, so let's put their AP Ryze into it with 2 items. He can get the push. As long as he's safe and he has a little bit of vision, that pink ward on the blue buff should be enough to help him out to spot out jungle, which will be now cleared away. Then he should be able to push out the side lanes in bot lane to make sure Rogue have to eventually keep basing.
With the Ocean Drake coming up in 30 seconds time, you have to expect that the next point of contest between these two teams. Rogue managing to get that single dragon for themselves about 5 minutes ago, really slowed down Mad Lions' game plan. And in all honesty, Rogue could just say, we don't want to fight this. But because Hunsummer's just picked up his Runan's Hurricane, his second item, and because Larssen is with the Ludens and the Seraphs completed, and Odoamne now upgrading his Frozen Fist, having a Thornmail, I actually think Rogue are in a pretty good spot to try and take a 5v5.
Yeah, giving the motion soul point is too risky. If they steal it, if they sneak it away, it's very dangerous for the entire rest of the game. The fight might start, but Rogue don't find the engage here.
Cool.
Mad Lions going first.
They're looking for Inspired. Inspired has to safeguard away, jumps to a ward. That's his trinket down for the moment. Dragon started up, I believe, by Mad Lions. Humanoid and Elyoya doing it. Armut a bit separate from the rest of the team. Flanking, pincer maneuver perhaps for him, as if he can get on towards Hunsummer, he can do a lot of damage. Infernum Crescendo with the guns for the Aphelios. Dragon taken, Mad Lions get the soul point. There is the Moon Prison. Odoamne is going to use it to get away. Call of the Portugal coming out as well. Humanoid pops a stopwatch. Elyoya still on the front line. Inspired on the back. A great kick onto Carzzy. Carzzy trying to survive with him on the shockwave. Humanoid doing so much, but Hunsummer's doing so much damage. It's a triple immediately for him. Larssen takes 1 to add on to it, and Rogue get 4.
What a massive shockwave from Larssen that was set up initially by the kick from Inspired. This is what the team fight comp is supposed to do. Let's have a look back at how it all plays out.
Oh, I love the shockwave, but the kick was even cleaner. You love to see it. Odoamne's ult is set up to perfection. When Humanoid stopwatched here, I thought that was it. He dodged away from 2 ultimates. Look at Inspired on the side. Gets the Q, instant ward jump, gets the flash kick onto Hans, and then he has to flash away. But Carzzy, sorry, he has to flash away. But the 4-man shockwave at the back. Oh
look
my
at
lord.
Humanoid's damage here as well. He almost ripped apart the entire Rogue roster, but that damage is already done, and now Rogue has started up the Baron.
Can they get this? Elyoya has flash. He's going to get zoned away. That's it. Rogue are going to get the team fight, going to get the kills, going to get the Baron.
Mad are going to take the fight. They've got the TP coming in from Armut, and Elyoya looking for it. Kaiser going on into Odoamne as well. Humanoid is here.
They're out.
Rogue managed to escape. 5 Barons strong, gold, even, game, even. Rogue have struck back.
And this is the point that we've been talking so much about. This was the team fight that Rogue have been looking for. And also, we have to come back to that Drake discussion as well. Look, that could have been Mad Lions' 4th Drake. That could have been the Soul, and had they gotten that, then even with the loss of Baron, they'd still be in a great position, but they denied it. Rogue have another opportunity to find a big team fight, and they just showcased how terrifying they can be in the 5 versus 5.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse for Mad Lions. Mad Lions have a lot of single target damage versus a lot of AoE and frontline of Rogue, so the later this game goes, the better it gets for Rogue, and now they've got the gold even. All they have to deal with now is this 3 minutes until Dragon. If Mad Lions steal it, it's sold for the rest of the game, and that's game-changing. So Rogue need to make sure they have good setup, push them out, but for now they have Baron. There's lots of free gold on the map for them. This top tier 1 will be the first one to fall.
Larssen is level 15. He's working on his 3rd item, which you imagine will be the Zhonya's. He is so terrifying in these upcoming fights, and Mad will have to find a way to deal with him. They're going to try and do it by playing through the side lanes, but Rogue is grouping and pushing down mid.
Yeah, but Rogue don't have any TP, so Armut can just force on side. He's going to get a tier 2, see if he can get more. I think someone from Rogue will eventually have to base. The problem is they have no TP, so it's going to be a 4v4. Looks like top tier 1, mid tier 2, and maybe they want to rotate into top, take over Odoamne's lane, and then cover this bot side.
Overall, Mad will get 2 towers for the price of 1 here. Rogue will get 2 towers for the price of 1 here, but Armut continues to push in. Viego comes out from Odoamne. Armut's going to start up on that inhibitor tower, but will back. You have to expect as soon as he sees the Ornn, he'll be able to take trades against that. Half HP on that tier 3. Rogue with about 1,300 extra gold off this Baron so far.
Yeah, look at the items though. Hands very close to an Infinity Edge. Larssen, is he building towards a Banshees or some kind of Zhonya's here?
There's the Eye Edge.
There's the Infinity Edge. 3 items. Aphelios against little to no frontline other than this Alistar of Mad Lions. If he can free hit, he's going to shred through them. And if he can't, then Larssen will be the one free hitting. So much beefy frontline to protect Rogue, and Mad Lions don't have that many options when it comes to flanks or these big global kind of AoE teamfight spells that you might think of. All they have really is a flanking Alistar. Kaiser's done it before on Rakan last game. Can he do it again to get both carries or at least one of them into Mad Lions?
Well, so this is the thing, right? Like, Mad have to get creative in how they win this team fight. And they've done it before. They've showcased that even with not the best team fight in comp, they've been able to come out ahead. But I think that their biggest strength of their draft, as we've talked multiple times about, is how they can play through silence, how they're able to set up this push. You can see they've actually just created a split map right now with 2 members of Mad up towards the top side trying to threaten this tier 2 as Rogue do the same in bot. The Baron is about to wear off, which means that Rogue can't really look to push much further. Armut should be able to hold on to this. He just has to be careful of a potential dive.
Yeah, Mad Lions playing very well over side lanes to keep matching and answering spells. Humanoid, no flash, knock up into Shockwave.
Larssen on his way as well. Humanoid does have the Realm Wave. He's going to try and get away and pops it down. Will be able to escape. Overall net positive for Mad Lions as they're able to get some damage down on the tower, and Humanoid escapes.
Yeah, Humanoid will escape, and I think he'll get the Dragon in time, but now the Call of the Forge God, Ornn's ultimate won't be up for this Dragon Soul of Mad. Larssen has to go for the kill here. Humanoid has flash in a couple of seconds.
Importantly, if Larssen can keep Humanoid around until the Dragon starts, Larssen has TP and Humanoid is not off cooldown as of yet. Humanoid needs to base and then get towards this this Dragon pit because he's only got 20 seconds to do it. See that massive drop off in gold after that team fight happened in the river. Mad Lions having flashbacks to it perhaps as they set up around the Ocean Soul, around this Ocean Dragon. Rogue are the ones with control in the river right now, and Mad Lions have to face check into it. Who's going to face check? That's the question. With Larssen TPing in, Rogue have all 5 players strong. Elyoya on the front line. The Ocean Drake has a control ward on it. We'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, Larssen just picked up Void Staff. Looks like they're just going to start it. They could get stolen away. They have to rush it down. It is gone. Are they going to back off here? Mad Lions have to decide what happens here. 1 minute 50 till Baron. Rogue won't get anything else, but they've stalled the game for another 5 minutes.
Without the ultimate from Odoamne, I think this was the correct choice. Rogue, don't take the gamble when you don't have such a powerful tool at your disposal. You know where the Ryze is. You know that he's still pushing in mid. Like, just don't take it. And I think that they smartly disengage and they'll keep the game even. The Void Staff now actually completed for Larssen. Decided to just funnel in more damage rather than something like the Zhonya's, and I respect it. They know that they just need to get that wombo combo off one more time, and this game is as good as theirs.
It's crazy to think that a couple months after the spring finals, Rogue are the ones outscaling with the teamfight comp being behind, and Mad Lions are the ones with early game and single target damage who have somewhat thrown the game in a way back into Rogue's favor. 4 minutes on Dragon, 1 minute on Baron. The only real objective on the map for Rogue is this top tier 2, but it looks like they're going to try to control the bot side of the map to free up Odoamne to move with the team.
Yeah, Armut split pushing off towards the top side, does have the teleport if he needs to rejoin the fight. Larssen, highest level in the game, level 16, teaming up here with Trymbi. That Solar Flare Shockwave combination will rip someone to shreds. question is, can Mad Lions find a purchase back in the game? Because currently Rogue in total control. With 40 seconds on the Baron, they can set up towards this top side. You see Inspired resetting and working his way across.
I think you have to credit both teams here. Rogue played amazing with the Baron, with the timings that they had on the waves to get the objectives that were available. But Mad Lions have responded fantastically, playing on singular lanes on bot and now on top to match and trade towers 5 for 5 despite Rogue having the Baron. Really well played from both teams. This is what you love to see.
The reality is this game could still go either way. Rogue is in the better position. We know that they have the favorable scaling. We know that if they're able to get the fight, that they're able to just steamroll over their opposition, and they have the better setup around the Baron. It's all about, can Mad do the miracles that they've done before? Can they find those team fights? Can they find that pick or that play that allows them to swing the game back in their control?
Rogue are going to start it up. They have good turn. Larssen has flash, and if they funnel into a choke, it's dangerous. Odoamne has smite as well, so if they just go for the straight 50-50, it's definitely in their favor with the double smite. We'll see what happens here.
4,000 health on the Baron. Inspired backs away from it. The patience meter ticking low. Odoamne tanking it up.
They have the double smite.
Look at the chakram sitting on Humanoid. He's got about 10 hula hoops around him, and if they go into him, he can fight. Kaiser flashes forward looking for the fight. Kaiser isn't going to be able to get out, but he gets the face calling already. They're taking down Trymbi. Rogue has secured the Baron, but Kaiser goes forward once again. Realm Warp coming out. Shockwave stops the Realm Warp. Hunsummer's still alive. Carzzy with a stopwatch. Hunsummer with one of his own. Inspired there. Carzzy taken out, but Hunsummer has fallen as well. Humanoid flashes in, and even though Rogue got the Baron, Mad Lions get the fight. Odoamne down. Only Inspired survives.
It does not matter if your comp is supposed to be better at team fighting, because Mad just finds a way to be better at team fighting. They come out ahead, they don't care about the Baron, and they will still keep control over this game.
I don't think they can get anything off this though, but anyway, let's look at this again because Kaiser is the one to instantly start the fight. Hans and Larssen watch them, they stack together and Kaiser just sees it. Larssen reacts, but Hans doesn't. Then he does eventually flash away, but the front line is split from the back line, so Odoamne is trying to get some kind of engage. He goes into the Baron pit to run away. Larssen's alone, Hans is alone. Mad Lions can collapse. Yes, he cancelled the Realm Warp, but he has no one to protect him, and Mad Lions find the carries.
Oh my, well, I cannot believe how insane Kaiser was in that team fight. Like, you highlighted it perfectly, Caedrel, but the fact that he went onto the back line twice, he found 2 engages onto both carries and just kept them preoccupied, forced both their flashes out, just set up for Mads to pretty much utilize their single target damage. They could pick one target at a time and slowly work their way through the Rogue composition.
Yeah, and I think the important thing was Mad Lions was very split up in that fight. Odoamne couldn't find the Call of the Forge, he couldn't find a knock-up onto multiple people. Larssen couldn't find a multiple-man shockwave because Mad Lions were so split up. Armut was poking them down, and they pick and chose their engages so well. Kaiser going in, like you said, gets pulled out and goes back in.
So the important thing here is not about the Baron. It's not about that fight. Mad Lions basically got nothing out of it, but what they did achieve was flashes. Hunsummer, no flash. Larssen, no flash. Inspired, no flash. Odoamne, no flash. And with 50 seconds on the Ocean Soul, Mad Lions are setting up around it.
Yeah, I think the important thing for Rogue is what you want to take from that fight is make sure Odoamne and Trymbi are not split from your carries. They need to stay next to them, they need to stay in front of them, and they need to protect them. But 38 seconds left. Rogue have a lot of time to work with here. Mad Lions have the base. If they stayed around this dragon, Rogue literally could have ended the game, but Kaiser is playing his solid snake again. Can he find anything? He's behind them. You can have a great flank here with Hex Flash.
That control ward is so important, but they're going to walk straight into...
Well, the rest of the team is just not there at the moment. Now Kaiser can look for it.
Give me Ignar vibes.
Oh, he Hex Flashes away, but Kaiser goes in.
He goes in.
They look for it. The shockwave, the Realm Warp from behind them. The Call of the Forge coming out as well, but Larssen steps straight into waiting arms of Armut. Larssen's still alive. Humanoid has the flank. Carzzy's down. It's all on Humanoid and Armut to put the damage down here as Aphelios has already gone down. He's in the GA, now he's dead. Odoamne trying to get away. Inspired running one way, Larssen the other. Mad Lion barreled in, and they get the kill and they get the soul.
How does Kaiser keep getting away with it? This man is the master of stealth, and he finds another flawless engage. Mad Lions are going to win another team fight. They're going to get themselves the Ocean Soul, and they are likely going to get themselves game 2 in this series.
They can't end just yet, but yes, you're completely right. The Ocean Soul's gone. All of Mad Lions are laughing after that fight. 2 big things to watch. One, yes, Kaiser's flank was amazing. He got a multiple man knock-up, especially on the hands, but look at the shockwave at the back. It hit no one. Carzzy was at one end of the Realm Warp, and Humanoid was at the other, so it hit no one. Carzzy dies, and Hans has GA, but look at Humanoid. He stays alive, dodges away from Inspired's Q, and cleans up the fight. Mad Lions, how do they keep doing this?
You summarized it perfectly, Caedrel. The fact that Larssen missed that shockwave, and then he was just in the middle of everyone. There were so many people attacking him from multiple flanks, he was forced to disengage, so the two damage dealers couldn't do any damage. And it is amazing that Mad Lions keep finding ways to get on top of them. If Rogue could just get that straightforward front-to-back team fight, then this game would be a lot easier, but Kaiser is not letting them play the easy game that they want.
Yeah, we talk about scaling. You can have the better team fight, you can have the better front-to-back, but it's the intricacies, you know, it's the intangibles of playmaking that Mad Lions are pulling off here and showing us a clinic in fights. The game's not over yet. They're only 3,000 gold up. Gold at this point doesn't matter. The important thing is the Ocean Soul. Rogue have to team fight against it.
The biggest intangible is this support player.
It's pretty fucking tangible is what it is. Kaiser's a beast! Twice in 2 games, he's found the perfect flank.
Oh man.
It's crazy how he just keeps finding them.
He just keeps finding them. Like, you guys referenced Solid Stake at the start, and it is just the perfect example. He is just a master spy, the master of stealth. He's put all his points in sneak. There's just no way that you can catch him. But anyway, as you boys rightly said, there's still a lot of this game left to play. I don't even know if one teamfight will decide it, because look, so much of the structures of both teams' bases are still alive. The Elder spawning soon. The Baron is up in 1 minute. Elyoya has found Odoamne.
Inspired does land the Sonic Wave onto Elyoya there. A ward goes down for Rogue. They don't have any vision around this Baron pit. They do still have a minute to reset. Importantly, Trymbi actually sitting on only 1 ward in his inventory. No control wards for him either. So if Mad Lions can delay this a little bit, they can get total control of both sides of this jungle. Trymbi now resets, gets himself a couple of extra wards and a couple of controls, and that will allow Rogue the opportunity to step forth into their own jungle once again.
Yeah, Rogue need to start investing in healing reduction. They really need it against this Ocean Soul, and they have very little of it right now. Mad Lions full control of the map, 40 seconds on the Baron. The good thing about Mad Lions' comp is what they can do is group up, push a lane into tier 2, and then Ryze ult, use the Realm Mob to Nash and just blow it up. Rogue need to start finding some way to contest the vision.
Look at what they're doing right now. They're keeping bot push, they're keeping mid push, they have a wave stacking in top lane, and Rogue can't afford to overextend at the risk of getting collapsed on a side. The Realm Warp can be very utilized to catch you out of position if you're not careful. So Rogue doing their best to stay grouped as Orianna has the TP in bot matching the Ryze.
Yeah, they could look for an engage here. Armut's been split. Kaiser's just going in.
Goes in onto Hunt Summer, but he was stunned in the middle of his combo, so he couldn't get it off. Caught at the forge shot coming out as well, not going to hit anyone. Goes between the uprights. I think Armut's Eclipse Edge of Night there was procced. TP comes out, but Humanoid did not TP.
Yeah, but importantly, Kaiser, I think he engaged there purposefully because he knew he'd get pulled out to force Larssen to TP. Now Humanoid's alone in bot, and Odoamne is going to be the one to match him, so Rogue have lost a lot of engage, which means Mad Lions can push further into this topside jungle. It might have looked a bit overextended by Kaiser, but now Larssen's stuck with the team, and he can't match Humanoid.
A lot of ults. Well, I say a lot of ults. Odoamne's ult was used, and I think that in exchange for Kaiser's, I think it's a big debate as to whether or not that was worth it, because I think the big thing is he didn't get Hun Summer summoner spells. He was still able to just
Hun Summer's in base. Hun Summer's in base.
Wait, he is, and Ryze is splitting bot. Look, Mad are just splitting up the back. They're forcing Rogue to make a choice.
Now the question is, can you get this with the Shockwave? Larssen very high damage right now. Humanoid's going to back away from the bot lane inhibitor.
Kalista.
Inspired has the flank as
We
well.
missed his Q!
He missed Q and the Ren comes out. Inspired jumps into the pit, so does Trymbi. Inspired has the GA. He's going to try and dive forward. The Shockwave only hits onto 2. Hunt Summer trying to put the damage down across the pit as well, but Inspired and Trymbi are so low. Inspired jumps away. Trymbi cannot. And Rogue able to get 1 kill at the back of it, but Mad Lions get the Baron. Humanoid now on the front line, stepping forward towards Hunt Summer. Does have the flash, does have the heal, but doesn't have the time to use them. And Elyoya will kill him off. Odoamne now trying to look for a flank of his own, but Humanoid can just try and put the damage down. Odoamne still gets the shutdown in the end. Carzzy on the chase with Kaiser. Odoamne and Inspired running away. Elyoya gets the double. Odoamne and Inspired, the last 2 remaining members of Rogue.
These team fights are crazy, Medic. 3 members for 2 members of Mad Lions. This all came down to Kaiser's engage earlier. Odoamne showed up so late because he had to deal with bot waves, and he was in bot lane. He TPs in eventually, but now Mad Lions have Baron. 30 seconds on hands, 40 seconds on Larssen. No Call of the Forge God. How do you wave clear this? Carzzy can hit towers for free. Inspired has kick up. I think this might just be it if they push for the end.
Mad Lions got the early game lead. Rogue fought back. Team fight after team fight, neck and neck. Both these teams have been battling across the course of 2021, but every time Mad Lions have come out on top so far.
7 seconds on hands.
Going to land too. There's the Zenith blade going in as well as they look to try and take down Carzzy. Gets into the GA. And now they're putting the damage down. Hans is back up. And for the moment, Rogue have held the door. They've held the line. They will not let Mad shut that door in their face right now.
Inspired with a beautiful kick onto 3. The man came up clutch last week, and he's doing it again in this game. Rogue keep kept the base defense alive. The Elder spawns in 35 seconds, and I think Rogue aren't out of this game yet.
Yeah, they tried to end for the 3v3, but it's the clutch plays that come out. The intangibles once again inspired, finds it, and you're completely right. 25 seconds on Elder, 30 seconds on Carzzy. Rogue are going to push this all the way in. I think they might look for an inhibitor here, then backtrack to the Dragon.
Are they going to try and end? Are they going to flip it?
There's no way you can end here, right? They have a lot of single target damage and very few waves
has
here,
ult.
but no Baron buff. 20 seconds on Carzzy. They're going to go for it. They need to use ultimates now. They have to push for it.
Humanoid would look to try and clear out these minions. Trymbi underneath the tower.
Humanoid!
Humanoid, he's so low already, but he pops the stopwatch. Minions still alive. Humanoid still alive. On Summer.
8 seconds.
Down into the tree. He flashes away from Kaiser. Rogue. They didn't quite close it out. They lost one. Trymbi's down, but Mad Lions now can try and push out towards this Elder spawn.
They have to just one-shot this Elder. It's a 5v4 against Ocean Soul, but Mad Lions are just going to chase them across the rift. Rogue have to run for the hills. They have to burst this and get it now. Otherwise, they have no chance of survival. They should have gone for Elder. They couldn't have got to the end. Elyoya has to steal it.
Elyoya doesn't have flash.
They're going to get
it. Way around, and that is it. It's taken. On Summer secures it. Base Call will pull Kaiser out. Rogue, though, still on the back foot as they manage to retreat. Inhibitor down in the mid lane for both teams. Rogue unwilling, unflinching, unrelenting as they broke Mad in their own base and then forced it down mid.
Oh my word. From one end attempt into another, both teams are able to hold the line. How did Humanoid live at his Nexus? That was insane.
This game has no chill, and I love it. I love it. Rogue, 20 seconds on Carzzy, and they tried to end with no Baron buff. That was absolutely crazy, but they had the CC to try and layer it. Didn't work out. They had a 5-second window to burst that Elder, I think 5 to 10. They just got it because Elyoya had no ult and no flash to get over the wall, and they get out. So they have this Elder Dragon for a little bit longer. Baron spawning soon, 1 minute 30 seconds on this Elder, so they need to do something with it, and they need to do something now.
You're right, Caedrel. They just need to fight. Everyone knows that the one thing you don't do against an Elder Dragon is fight it. And Rogue, they have the perfect team comp to do that. The problem is, these waves are being pushed in. They can't overextend at risk of being collapsed by the Mad Lions. Inspired was able to push out bot, but now Mad is pushing in top, and they have the supers helping them push in mid. Humanoid gonna catch bot wave because he knows he has his TP up, and everyone from Mad is resetting. So, let's take a breather. 1 minute left on the Elder Drake. We know that the Baron is spawning in about a minute and a half. You expect that to be the next big fight.
But Vedi, just like you said, Mad Lions need to base. And what does basing do? It gives up control. Rogue can push in top and they can move into this top side jungle if they want to try to contest some kind of vision. We have a 6-item Aphelios on the rift. Hans doesn't have flash though, and Larssen is coming up soon. He's just as strong. Everyone's building towards all the items they need, and Rogue are ignoring.
Are they doing base race?
It's going to be a base race. Humanoid's going to realm warp with this thing. 100%.
Kaiser can cancel the bases as well.
Kaiser can stop him. Bases. No way. Oh, they didn't do. Oh, why?
The idea was good, Medic.
This to me, Mad Lion.
The idea was good, Medic. I saw it as well. But it doesn't look like they're going to go for it.
Do you know how many that Medic has seen that so many times that he was like, I've seen this.
But you know the reason they didn't do it? There's still 15 seconds left of Elder. If they're 4-man realm warping into an Orianna with no flashes, they're all just one-shotted. It's an instant quadra kill, you'd have to imagine.
Oh my words. Okay,
I mean,
also...
So smart decision to back off.
So, we also just have to recognize Elyoya. He's not been a big discussion point in this game. Hasn't died once in 42 minutes in all of this chaos.
Didn't die last game either.
Disappointing.
Disappointing. He's been involved in 16 of their 22 kills.
He hasn't died at all this series, never mind just in this game. No, he is a combined 7-0-28 across the last 2 games. He continues to impress in his rookie season as well here for Mad Lions. Can he step up now?
Here we go though, the Aram begins. 20 seconds on Baron, that's the only objective that's on the map for the next 3 minutes, and Rogue have control for now. Mad Lions need to poke their way in. Kaiser has flash, and we've seen what he can do with it. And just like you said earlier, Medic, Humanoid can realm up into the base if they have a wave, so Rogue, they need to make sure if they go for Baron, they need to push the waves in first.
You can feel the tension start to mount right now. The side waves are not important. Elyoya slightly split off. Phantom is looking for an opportunity. Oh, and here begins the fight.
That's the Everfrost used. Odoamne is going to be able to heal up. Remember, Ocean Soul available here for Mad Lions. They're going to heal up a bunch. Poke coming out. Trymbi low.
Here comes the realm warp. They're going to run it down mid.
They're bringing in the minions and they're sprinting at the Olympics. Ended a couple of weeks ago. Double TP, but that's to the base. And perhaps Mad Lions, you can just turn back. You can just turn back. They don't have TPs anymore.
It's the bait and switch.
Low is the bait and switch, as you say. Call of the Portugal going out. It's looking for Humanoid. Humanoid. Elyoya keeping Trymbi and Summer busy over to the other side. Inspired, flashed away, kick onto Humanoid. The Sonic Wave connects as well, but Humanoid able to pop the someone to keep himself alive. Summer doing so much work! Summer doing so much work! Down towards the bottom side, locked up. Inspired is going to get the kill off towards the top side as well. Elyoya has to do so much here. Carzzy trying to damage as well. Armut gets the kill. Inspired and Larssen still chasing in. Elyoya, what can you do? Can you get a stun down? Carzzy down. Rogue win the fight.
Elyoya's alive. He has Guardian Angel. He needs to push this wave in. That'll stop Rogue from being able to end. There's pings on bot wave. There's pings on top wave. Everyone doesn't know where. No one knows where to go. I think Rogue win.
They're not even killing each other. They're just killing the waves. Oh my god! And because the blue inhibitors respawn and there's no wave, Rogue is just gonna go for the Baron instead. What an insane fight! Summer utilized the GA. He was in like a 1 versus 3, and he was able to buy enough time for the rest of his team to collapse. Humanoid died off on the, in the other half of the fight that was going on.
There was 2 fights going on, and Elyoya almost saved it by taking the Leona of Trymbi. Right, Mad Lions tried to end here, so Rogue have to TP to the base to defend it with their ultimates. So Mad Lions could bait and switch and go towards Baron now. But because Mad Lions are fighting down here, Rogue have to fight up there as well, so the fights are split.
So Elyoya is just stalling. He has the bot lane preoccupied, and now Mad Lions are saying, collapse, 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 collapse.
Watch Hans.
You can see, look at the damage coming out from Hans. Melts through Kaiser's ultimate, melts through Elyoya, and if it wasn't for Armut joining the fight, he likely would have come out. But the big stun from Elyoya keeps enough time as he's they're able to get the kill, but then the rest of Rogue join the fray.
Yeah, look who arrived. It's Inspired, Larssen and Odo. It's the top side to take over, and they do manage to close out the fight. Elyoya lives, has the GA, who almost saved the game by stunning Hans there and getting his GA, but the GA saved his life. He sold it now, and he's still
13,000 damage!
What?
That is
never
well
seen that
over
before.
9,000, baby! That was insane!
I've never seen that before, but Rogue have Baron now. They can push into this inhibitor. 15 seconds on Elder. We saw how fast Rogue could do it earlier. They can do it even faster now.
Wait, TP flanks perhaps? No. It's so risky against this composition. Poke is going to come through from the Mad Lions. Inspired is so cautious of that flank.
Here we go!
Kaiser, no way, you're gonna do this again, Kaiser. Summer tries to flash away, but it face plants! And just after praising him, Summer makes such a big mistake that he may have cost his team the game. Humanoid's still alive here, Summer's dead. Trymbi's gonna go down as well. Inspired jumps across the wall, but Trymbi's down! Oh, Summer!
Top wave, top wave, top wave!
The top wave going in. Humanoid still has the TP. He doesn't have a realm warp though. Elder Drake has to be the target here for Mad Lions. You have to think they're gonna try and turn it back onto Armut. Inspired has a good flank position, has no Dragon's Rage kick. Larssen, no shockwave, no ults available for Rogue right now. Mad Lions, Elyoya is on the Elder Drake. Top wave is pushing in. Mad Lions should have this one pretty much by themselves. Rogue have to back away.
Rogue is just doing everything that they can to stay alive right now. They need people, they need wave clear, because Mad Lions have the game end in their sights. These fights have consistently gone back and forth. It has come down to individual plays, and this time round, Mad was able to find the kill onto Summer. Mad now possessed the Elder Drake.
Oh man, I saw that top wave while that fight was going on, and I thought Mad Lions would TP in, but you're completely right, Medic. Look at Hans's flash. That's not what you want. He flashed into the wall and instantly dies. From there, it's a 4v5 from the start. Larssen flashes away. No DPS left for Rogue. The front line gets melted, and I thought here Armut Humanoid could TP top, but no. Rogue have Baron. Elder Dragon is the best objective.
But notice that Larssen immediately ran once he flashed out. I think that was smart because they recognized that the best thing they could do was just disengage. They need bodies alive because the death times are so long late into this game. If one more person had died, that could have just been the game.
46 kills, 47 minutes. Mad Lions have Elder Dragon. They're going to force it. Kaiser's going to go in. Carzzy's going to go in. You know they need to force it. Rogue need to play max range and clear out these waves. There's no Baron buff on Mad, so the wave clear is very strong from Rogue. It's all about whether they give them the fight or not.
Across the years, there have been many great battles in Europe. Fnatic and G2 led the charge for the longest time, but this year, 2021, has been the battle between Rogue and Mad Lions. The third time they have met. Mad Lions have won it every single time before, but every time we get a battle between titans, and here once again we are seeing it. The inhibitor will fall as Elyoya looks in the Shroud to see if he can get in. TP used by Humanoid towards the top lane. As you say, Vedius, there is a possibility that Odoamne could have pulled the trigger on the Call of the Forge God, but the gods won't come as Humanoid continues to push in the top lane. Armut chipping away. The Elder Dragon still available. That buff on Mad Lions still ticking away.
Yeah, Mad Lions have Elder, and they're going to move topside now. The inhibitor mid is respawning, so they're going to have to clear that one out, but they have a top wave to work with. But again, Rogue's wave clear is so strong. Larssen can clear it out in under a couple of seconds. They're going to force a split in him. I think Rogue have to give it up for now until the Elder's off. But they're going to poke, and they're going to prod, and they're going to make sure it's hard for Mad Lions to find anything.
Oh my word, it is so tense right now. We're approaching the 50-minute mark.
20 seconds.
We go. The Elder Dragon.
Kaiser has flash.
Inspire going in, there's the kick onto Humanoid underneath the tower, he's able to flash away for the moment. Trymbi going in as well, and Kaiser dives onto Hunsama on the backline. Elder Dragon 10 seconds before he goes down, and Elyoya's already killed off Hunsama. Armut looking for Larssen as well, tick, tick, tick. The Elder Dragon almost goes down, but Mad Lions have found the fight right at the moment that they're looking for.
That's it.
Armut kills off Larssen. It's it, says Caedrel. It's it, say Mad Lions. Try as you might, you cannot hold back the pride of Lions. Mad Lions clean up the fight in the Rogue base, and only Odo left to stand as his kingdom crumbles around him. Rogue tried to defend, but Mad Lions battered down the door.
Wow! That was one of the most back and forth games I've ever seen. Barons, Elders, Souls across the board, huge individual plays. In the end, Mad Lions come out on top, and they sit at match point in this best of 5. Vedius, you know who sat at match point in the best of 5 in the spring finals? It was Rogue. Now Mad Lions sit at match point, but man, Inspired, looking for the engage when there's still a little bit left on the Elder, thought he could catch out the Humanoid, sorry, it all backfires.
Oh my word, I just... He went for the play at the end, thinks, man, imagine being Hansama and Larssen in that position when you have a pack of lions that are all hunting for your head every single fight. It was unbelievable. This is the new rivalry in Europe, and it is delivering.
That's what League of Legends is all about. Mad Lions are on the verge of securing their spot in the Summer Finals, and when we return, the experts will look at what on earth happened in Game 2. Don't you go anywhere.
say goodbye, bye. Don't say goodbye, bye. Just love me like you do. Don't let me go. Don't say goodbye, bye. Don't say goodbye, bye. Can't find another you. Don't let me go. Don't say goodbye, bye, bye. Don't say goodbye, bye. Don't say goodbye, bye. Just love me like you do. Don't let me go. Don't say goodbye, bye. Don't say goodbye.
Welcome back, everyone, to our coverage of the LEC. In spring, the Mad Lions became the 4th team ever to lift the LEC trophy, and tonight they are on the verge of back-to-back finals. And I need to compose myself because this is one of those games when you're watching it, since it was one of the best one I think I've ever seen in an LEC playoffs or an EU LCS playoffs. We need to compose ourselves, right, Treats? Wow.
Yeah, that was one hell of a game. I mean, it was back and forth. It looked like Rogue with their decent early game, and they were even with a good team fight comp. It looked like they had it, but Mad Lions are just relentless.
I don't know. Mad Lions are playing insanely well for them to come back in a late game like this. And quite frankly, I'm also a bit disappointed in Rogue because I felt like they had all the tools they wanted from the draft phase to succeed in this late game. They had the Orianna, they had the Aphelios, and multiple times people were either caught off guard or Kaiser with insane Smurf flanks. And I think Rogue, this game should have been theirs. They just couldn't execute on it.
Because if you look at it, they got one perfect team fight with their perfect team fight composition.
Yeah.
And they weren't even able to replicate it again. That is so tragic. Let's take a look at some of the moments from the late game, and this is where it's hard for my analysts because we had a lot of stuff prepared about the mid game and the early game, but it didn't matter. Talk to me through this base defense out of Rogue, Treats.
I think Rogue in the 3-3, I said it here that they're gonna win this, and they were super confident as well. I think it was just quite the overstep from Mad. They just wanted to end this game fast, it looked like. They knew they were kind of getting outskilled in a way, and they were just like, guys, let's try this 3v3 base race, but yeah, it didn't really work.
Yeah, what is it about specifically how Mad decided to play these late game fights and make the decisions then? Because as you say, they were outscaled a fair bit.
I mean, yeah. It's crazy at the same time because it kind of just goes into the tangent that this is a team composition where they should not work in a team fight setting. It should be working by putting it out onto the map instead, but by splitting them up in team fights like this where they're able to push lanes down and then force the fight afterwards, that's kind of how we're ending up in these situations.
And as we take a look at how this gets played out, and by the way, I need to commend our TriCast also, and especially Medic, for just casting through this, what seemed like 20 straight minutes of team fights. They are giving us a show, but I need to go back to you, Goldberg, as we take a look at this final fight. Because for Rogue, you know, they have a different approach for this game. They draft this team fight composition. They get exceptional tools to be in a position to win these team fights, and they don't. What is that to blame on at the end of the day? Or is it just a moment where we need to praise Mad?
I think it's praising Mad 100%, but it's also a lot of individuals on Rogue right now that has not showed up in the first 2 games, and I think that is important to show. This is not Rogue at their best. I'm seeing a lot of individual mistakes coming out from Larssen in the laning phase, also towards the mid to late game, how they play these fights. The flashes that's coming out, I think, sometimes have super good performances on the Aphelios in a team fight, and then other times he just fails to flash where he no longer is able to find that carry performance in a team fight. So once again, I think Rogue was set really nicely up for this late game team fight, but they actually choked it a little bit.
Treats?
Yeah, I'm also kind of I'm kind of tired of Rogue with their playoff performances sometimes. Like, it's so obvious that they're a good team, but they just can't quite make it in these playoff games, and it must be annoying for them as well because they're super close and they just can't make it. But maybe reverse sweep incoming if they get their stuff together for next game.
Hey, I think we need to touch on it at the end of the segment again. That would be the ultimate revenge. I do also want to look at that mid lane matchup. I think it's such an interesting one to follow throughout the years as well, right? Humanoid's story, who is, you know, if you look at it, a much more experienced player than Larssen, but he took a while to get going, I feel like, and really establish himself as one of the best mids in Europe. But he's there, and Larssen, to me, has not performed so far this
Listen,
playoffs.
it's not very long time ago that Humanoid dies on side was a meme we would always use. Like, Humanoid going into the first World Championship was a weak point for this team, or at least from a talking point. And now he is definitely one of the best, if not the best mid we have in Europe right now. I think Larssen has been marginally outperformed by Humanoid in this series in terms of this Ryze pick. They don't know what to do with it. They came through with the Orianna, and it's just not worked either in this game too.
We're going to take a look at the draft from this game later. I just want to get a first thought already about Rogue going back to the blue side now. Treats this mid lane matchup. Yeah, you can't say that the matchup itself is an issue, but the Ryze seems to be an issue.
Yeah, the Ryze definitely seems to be an issue. I think it's just the pressure it puts on the map, and Rogue is struggling to really do anything with their side lane. Instead, Orianna and Ornn, not really known for their side lanes, and I think Rogue usually plays with more individual power in their draft, and in these drafts they're just like a ball grouped up, but they don't really have any individual power.
So, give me the solutions then for Rogue to set up this reverse sweep, Goldberg. Back on the blue side, we've seen 2 different approaches in 2 games, both to no avail.
So the thing is, it's an interesting and tricky one because from a drafting point of view, this should also have worked from Rogue with the position they ended up in. But if we are to go back to what we usually see from Rogue in the regular season, then you need to challenge for the early game because I see a team in Rogue that is very, very uncomfortable in the early game. They have a scaling composition, but they play it like it's an early game composition. They get caught off guard so many times in both games so far in our series.
We're going to cover the picks and bans on the desk after the break. There's just one more thing that I'd like to throw in the discussion. Kaiser, so far this series, on Rakan and on Alistar, champions on which he has agency and is able to really turn around a game, a team fight, a series, perhaps. Treats, you know, what can you tell me about how Kaiser has been playing so far?
I mean, Kaiser just looks like he has ice in his veins in every fight. He always finds insane engages, and it feels like Rogue just can't do anything about it. He's always in the right place, always plays the fight mechanically, apart from the one fight on bot against Hansama. But honestly, otherwise, he's just had a stellar performance so far.
We're going to get his pro view also in a minute, Goldberg.
Yeah, and I think, like, Treat, you know this as well as a former support player. Like, if you get these stream flanks, this is kind of what you play support for. We've seen it before with Hilly as well, but I think Kaiser really excels at it, especially in this series where it just happens multiple times. It happened on the Rakan, on the Alistar now instead. It's super clear that when he's on a champion that has influence in a team fight or in a flanking position, that's just his comfort zone.
Wow, it's incredible, and I think we spoke on it also when we weren't at the late game team fight, so the fact that Rogue just didn't feel like they were as much in this game as the Mad Lions were. Treats, what does your gut tell you? Is Mad Lions going to tell Rogue in this next game, you have no business being in this best of 5 versus us?
I mean, I want to see Rogue kind of play towards their strengths and actually come back in the series a bit. I feel like playing to the late game with not that much early pressure is not their style, so I'm not sure why they're doing it. I think they just thought that their early game was good enough to match Mad Lions, and then they could match their scaling as well. But I think it was a bit too cocky, and I think we might see Rogue go towards the early game style a bit more, and then I want to see the series be played out a bit more for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. I think we all want to see 5 games of this. And Rogue, they're looking to climb their way back in the series. And for Odoamne, this playoffs is all about getting another shot at his first LEC title.
Oh, but why do you get me here and not inspired? Holy I was f***ing griefer, man.
Your TK series was great. What are you talking about?
I mean, TK was the man on the planet. The dive was so crazy.
The tower, the grey health will get popped here. It's about to go mega now, but he can't avoid the lick.
The guys played really well. They kind of carried my ass in game 5. Even in wins, you can find something you could have done better.
It's for the ace, the pentakill.
There's definitely frustration in the fact that I didn't win LEC, but on the plus side, there was a lot of frustration that I didn't make a finals. I'm still not really processing the fact that I'm going to Worlds again after so many years. At the end of the day, if you're good enough, you'll get what you deserve, you know? So I'm 26. You don't know how long I have left, you know? But I don't want to be the guy that was one of the best in LEC in its history and never won anything, you know? I want to be the guy that played for such a long time, so many years, and then he finally won something, you know, when people wrote him off as being too old. I experienced failure so many times, and some of those times I was kind of like the main protagonist of those failures, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think if I get to win a finals, that's gonna be the moment where, you know, the relief comes out. I'll be happy with myself and I'll be like proud of what I did, you know, like my whole career so far.